Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today we're talking about the Peggies today. Well, actually, we're gonna. It does kind of have to do with the Peggies, man. Okay, these guys are ruthless in my comment section. They're ruthless over there on Twitter. I do on Twitter. I don't hold back. I go back on them a little bit. Like, honestly, I want you to know, if you are a legitimate PlayStation fan and you come to this channel for legitimate PlayStation coverage and stuff like that, like this place is good for you. Like, I love my PlayStation, whatever. But these fanboys, they're ruthless. I have no problem going after them. It really is annoying. But today's focus of this video is Digital Foundry. Now, this isn't bad about Digital Foundry. It's just something that I have noticed since, I'm gonna say right around the time Horizon Forbidden West came out. Well, I mean, maybe a little bit before that. Not as much though. Not as much, but it's starting to change. Like things are starting to change. So I can only imagine. You know, they had Horizon Forbidden West come out. Richard Ledbetter, he's the boss. You know, he tells them what to do and stuff. And you know, John and Alex. For a minute there, like, I was like, ooh, gosh, man, like, why are these guys shilling for PlayStation so freaking hard? Like, why do they find every single freaking reason they can to try to make the PlayStation 5 version look a little better? And then it dawned on me, their fan base, a lot of PlayStation guys, you know, I mean, there's a lot of them, because most Xbox guys are to the point where they know that, like, it's not really as cut and dry, and like visuals, you know, like whatever. I mean, like most people that play Xbox are like, yeah, dude, we got VRR support, so I don't care if it drops to like 55 frames a second. I got VRR to make it better. And the PlayStation guys are like, hey man, so here's the thing: Horizon Forbidden West comes out, and you notice the Digital Foundry wasn't as bubbly as they were when, you know, like something like Demon Souls came out back in the beginning. No, man, they're starting to like tone down a little bit. So I could just imagine, like, I saw this video from well, we'll start with the video from Alex today. The Digital Foundry video was for Chernobyl Light. I just bought the game today. Like, before I saw that video that he did, I was like, oh my gosh, man, really? I just picked this up. I was gonna do it. So I just did my first ever Xbox Foundry video where we talk about the Xbox version and we talk about the PC version and we compare them and we look at those and we have a look at those. Oh, and Chernobyl Light Xbox Series S version is freaking great. So I watched this video from Alex Battaglia today. Okay, like this is funny, man. So basically the whole video was about the PC version, but I'm pretty sure Rich called him up and he was like, "Hey, Alex, what are you working on?" And Alex is like, "Oh, I'm working on Chernobyl Light. You know, I'm doing like this ray tracing video on it, and it's like really good. I'm liking how the lights bounce off the wall. I'm liking how everything just looks." And Richard's like, "Didn't they upgrade that for PlayStation and Xbox?" And Alex is like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Why don't you throw in the Xbox and PlayStation version?" And he's like, "No, dude, the Xbox decimates it and the PC destroys it." And Richard's like, You're right. Just put the PlayStation version in there. Just talk a little bit about it, gloss over, you know, say some nice things about it so, you know, other people will watch your show and stuff. Make sure it says that in the thing." And Alex is like, "Rich, you really don't want this to happen?" And he's like, No, do it. Don't worry about it. It's got ray tracing, right? And he's like, "Technically, yeah." And he's like, "Perfect. Just say it. It's got ray tracing." He's like, ooh boy. This is not going to be good. Not going to be good. So he's like, yeah. And then you watch the video and he's like, yeah, the PlayStation 5 has like the lowest of lower than the PC settings. And we, you know, I mean, like, there's been some other things that have been nip and tucked and put in there, and it's at like 15 something p or whatever. And I'm just like, oh gosh, dude, he's destroying it. And that's at 30 frames a second. And I'm like, ooh, man, that's bad. And I'm just like, And it's like you can kind of feel in like John and Alex that they just don't care about the PlayStation 5 anymore. They think it's just as half-baked as I do. But the funny thing is they really can't go out of their way to kick the freaking or bite the hand that feeds them. You know what I mean? Like most of their fan base is the PlayStation guys. And if you say something negative about the PlayStation, those guys will freak out on you. And so I've noticed it. And then I noticed it again the other day when they did their VRR video on the PlayStation 5. And they're just like trying as hard as they can to find like positives about it. They're like, well, I mean, they do unlock it and it is 1440p, which looks more like 1080p to me now. Yeah, they unlock it and everything, and like it was like for 20 minutes they're trying to figure out a reason why the PlayStation VRR doesn't suck. And they're like, well, yeah, I mean it's and so you listen to them and they're like, yeah, I mean like the Xbox does it better, you know, the PC does it better. But you know what they didn't notice? I'm pretty sure Richard was like, hey guys, how's that VRR project coming along? And they're like, well, it's really not good for the PlayStation. And Richard's like, what can we do to make it sound better? And John's like, nothing. It sucks, dude. It's not as good as any of the other consoles. And he's like, Series S? And they're like, nope, Series S is better too. And he's like, ooh, okay, I got it. You can say it's the Xbox and PC are better, the Series X and PC are better. Just don't mention the Series S. If you don't mention it, then we never covered it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. That's what I feel is going on, man. Because it's like, dude, none of them, they don't look happy anymore about it. They look, I mean, like Alex is sitting there in the VR thing and he's like, yeah, man, I got my Sony or my PlayStation Surprise mechanics. Apparently it doesn't work. Everything else I own works on my TV, but I got to get a new set if I want to keep testing PlayStation VRR. That's terrible, man. I feel so bad for Alex. Maybe you, Peggy, should pitch in and start a GoFundMe for him and get him a new TV so he can keep saying good things about your PlayStation under duress, of course. I mean, clearly these guys look like they're under duress. They're like, man, we just got to find a way to make the PlayStation 5 look better. We got to find a way to make it look better. And it's like, dude, they're running out of options. They're running out of ways. PlayStation has completely skimped out on this. I mean, you can go all the way back to Horizon Forbidden West when you hear freaking, you know, John and Richard talking about it, and John's like, ooh, and they're just like, they're not even happy. They're not even really talking about anything. They did like this massive thing for Forza Horizon 5. Alex is like, yeah, man, I want to go freaking run through the jungles and stuff. And it's like, I could see and sense his joy. And then when you hear him talking about like how great like Horizon Forbidden West and stuff is, it's like, dude, what are you guys talking about, man? Like, there's fog everywhere. Like, literally, you can't see 30 feet in front of you because there's fog. And I knew right then, I was like, okay, I'm not going to try to go after these guys. I don't care, whatever. PlayStation Foundry. As far as I'm concerned, you know, that's their base. That's what they got a piece. But then again, John Linneman, bro, with Gran Turismo 7, trying his dangdest to show you only beautiful stuff in that game and talk about it nicely. And it's like, dude, you could see it. He's just like, man, this game looks like a PlayStation 3 game. And you want to know why I know that? Because he could have seriously pulled out Forza 7 and put them side by side, because I did. I've looked at both of them, and oh my gosh, man. Whoo, Forza looks better in a lot of ways, and then Gran Turismo has pretty skies and more detailed cars. Oof, for a PlayStation 5 game, man. I'm like, wow, dude, what are we doing here, PlayStation? What are we doing? I've put out a few of these videos now, and people, you know, I get all the little comments in my section, you know, people saying, yay, and then I got people telling me, you don't know what you're talking about. Why don't you just sell your PlayStation 5? Just sell it. Just go sell it, because you don't even like it anyways. You can just go sell it and get your money back. And I'm like, dude, that's not the point, man. That's not the point, genius. I'm a PlayStation fan. I've been a PlayStation fan since the very first PlayStation. I like what they do. I just don't think they brought their A game this generation, man. I don't. I think this thing is too overhyped. And you guys are gonna understand that soon. Like it's so overhyped, and the PlayStation first party devs are under so much pressure. Do you really think Polyphony Digital wanted to put that out the way that is? No, man. No, they had no control. I'm pretty sure he wanted to be like, no, man. I want to put out a premium product. I want to take my time with it. And you're like, no, just take GT Sport, make it shiny, add some new stuff that you were going to add to GT Sport, hold all that back, because you remember like when they were supposed to support that thing, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. Like no more tracks, very few cars. It just stopped. It literally just stopped. And then you get Gran Turismo 7 and it literally looks like GT Sport with a few extra tracks. Like they rushed that out. They upgraded GT Sport, give it a new menu board thing, and then they're like, okay, ship it. And then they try to tell you, oh yeah, this is PlayStation 5 only. And then they realize, oh wait, we don't have enough PlayStation 5s ready. Oh, we haven't sold enough. So they're like, put it on PlayStation 4 too. We'll just make it work somehow. And it's like, dude, man, like what are you doing, Sony? What are you doing, Jim Ryan? What are you doing, man? Like Gran Turismo 7 was supposed to be a solid game. Like a solid game. And I know that product was rushed to completion. Like it feels like the most rushed GT I've ever freaking played in my life. And I've played all of them but 6. I feel like it was rushed. I literally feel like it was rushed out the door to try to get something on the PlayStation 5. And it was a PlayStation 4 game. Like it was literally, I don't, man. Polyphony Digital creates new assets for every single generation. They do that. The trackside detail is atrocious. Everything, like seriously. That game was built for the PlayStation 4. And then it was just upgraded for the PlayStation 5, which is really, really sad. Like that's really sad. That was the most expensive DLC we bought. But at least we know that we can count on more content coming for this game than we got for GT Sport. Because we essentially got all of GT Sport plus a few more tracks. And now we'll get more content on top of that. So hopefully Gran Turismo 7 will continue to grow. And hopefully we don't have to pay for those new tracks and all of that stuff. Because that would be pretty freaking terrible. That would be pretty bad. So if you like this content, well, so don't take it out on Digital Foundry. Don't take it out on those guys. They're just doing their job. They're just doing what they have to do to pay the bills. Like, seriously. That's what they do. You wouldn't believe how long it takes to sit here and go through stuff and make videos and get it. Like it's tough, man. It's time consuming and it really does suck. So I do understand what they're going through. And in order to pay the bills, they have to appease They have to appease their base. They have to. We all know that the Xbox Series X is a more forward-thinking next-gen console. Like it just is. It's completely built with next-gen features in mind. PlayStation 5 is too, for the most part. Like don't get me wrong. Like there's plenty of software, a lot of stuff they could do in there to completely turn that system 100% around. Like I have 100% faith in PlayStation. I just don't think they can do it fast enough. It's been a trickle out. It's been pretty slow. Whatever. Like it'll get there. It'll get there by the end of this generation. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everybody was singing PlayStation's praise, but the one thing they didn't think about was Microsoft being on point this generation. They didn't think about that. And now Xbox is out there selling a $300 console that is 100% next gen ready with all the next gen features, and it's doing good. So yeah, man, if you like this content, if you think this is good, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.